Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards. My name is Red. In the last episode, we started tackling Neostar. Got into some jungle hijinks and a nice minecart ride through a cave. Once again, do not let Waddle Dee drive, although it wasn't really driving, it's just riding in a cart at his idea. But all in good fun. This time, we're gonna start making our way again through Neostar, going through some mountains. So let's jump into it. And as we go into the stage, I will start this by saying you will need Needle, because the first crystal shard is hidden by an orange block. At least part of the landscape is orange and you have to break it with Needle, since that is orange as well. So as we go our way through, oh, there's another one. Actually, I can take the time to show off double Needle since I haven't done that yet. So with Needle, Kirby just grows spikes as normal, but when you have double, he is... oh man, and I forgot how wild this one is. He becomes what is known as the Swiss Army knife. At least, that's what they... Was it Swiss Army Kirby? Swiss Army knife Kirby? Something like that? At least from what I remember reading. This one is just wild, because you get a pencil. It looks like some... like metal jaw thing. You get a cactus, sword, bee sting, like bee stinger. Is that like an ice sword or... Oh no, it's a needle. Like an actual medical needle. Oh my gosh. But anyways, that right there, first crystal shard. Let's keep making our way through. This is actually the second time I'm having to redo this episode because I had some issues with the first one that I didn't realize. Plus, I felt like I could have done better myself, so I said, well, why not? I'll just redo it. I think it'd be better that way. But, bummers floating. Gosh, though, it's... oh, there they are. Now this stage, I remember this one. This definitely had one of the probably the most difficult puzzles for me because I just never quite understood what it was asking. But of course, I was a kid. I didn't know any better. I just played the game. But that's enough double needle. Get some fire for a little more mobility. So as we jump around through these mountains. Yeah. Small time platforming. Whoa. Oh no. Saw that coming. Yep. End frame animation. So, right here, notice that Adeline has painted a picture. And if we go into the next screen, we can see these star blocks here. Our objective here is to recreate Adeline's painting using the star blocks. In this case, she has painted a parasol. But there are also two other pictures that she will paint. One being a hat, and the other being a pizza with a slice missing. And so, and I will say don't overthink this puzzle, because last time I did that, and of course as a kid I didn't quite understand this, but you basically just want to recreate the object. You don't need to follow the perspective or angles or anything of that, but it can get a little confusing, so... Here for the parasol, and I'll also have the solutions for the other ones up on screen here too, once I get them. We're just going to break these blocks down here first, because I really probably wouldn't have thought too much of the solution. I would have tried to recreate as much detail as I could, which is kind of the problem that I have with some puzzles. It's wanting to... Like, okay, it's got to be, like, as accurate as it can be. Like, no, not necessarily. So there's that. Almost there. Let me get rid of that. And just a couple more on this end. And there we go. There's our second crystal shard. But, you know, the puzzle solutions, don't overthink them, but honestly, the perspective at which Now, I guess not so much perspective, but the way some of the paintings look, it can get somewhat confusing on how you're supposed to recreate that using the star blocks. At least I know before I've had some trouble. In the pizza one especially got me before, because having to re-record this, I had to do the pizza one before, and that actually gave me some trouble to the point where I wasn't quite sure like what the solution was. But anyways, I got that figured out. Oh no, I don't want to run out of here. Okay. Okay. Grab this food, but... and keep moving. So there is another crystal shard here. It's right down here. That one is actually pretty easy to miss unless you kind of have the intuition, or at least have the knowledge of, okay, I see the little path of stars here, or like the little path of stars here, like, okay, I can follow those and maybe that'll lead me to something, which is the case. And right here, as we can see, Kirby's name is built here into the landscape of the stage. And honestly, I love it when developers always like do little homages to their series. It's a nice little thing. But here we are at the end, and now I'm gonna get this info card. Honestly, I still have so many more to get, so I'll have to play off screen again. But before we go into this stage, I will tell you now, we will need ice, whether it's just a power or a power combo. So I'm gonna go get that quick. Alright, now that I have ice, we'll just go ahead and jump right in here. After going through the mountains, we now find ourselves making our way into, like, along the surface of a volcano. Not the top, but close to it. Just gotta avoid the lava. I don't need to fall in that. Definitely some real thrilling music to go with it, just like from the minecart stage in the last episode. Really just gets you going. Freeze! Tough slide. Yep. And of course, we got some moving landscape in here. Oh, I want to just really got to be aware of those birds, because they can be a pain. Whoa! Oh, okay, whatever. I'm alive. That one's not. Galbo. Why do I feel like I was about to say that Galbo seems similar to Godzilla, but not quite. Galbo are simply just like small little dragon creatures, and they breathe fire. They don't have an atomic breath like Godzilla does. Although, with some of the recent films for Godzilla, the glowing spines on his back, the fact that the Galbo's spikes flash when they breathe fire, using their breath, that's kind of about the only similarity. But no, it's just a thought that occurred to me, like, oh, wait a minute. Like, and again, like, no, not quite. And here we have DDDs, followed us here into the volcano. He's here to help us out, because we've got some large columns in the way, pillars, that we are not able to deal with. But of course, if it was full 3D, we could just go around, but nope, this is a 3D game that plays in 2D, so it's more 2.5. Bronto Bert, some platforming. No, it's been a while since we've seen DDD, because no, we don't. I mean, we see him in level 3 Aquastar, but it's not like we get to play a level where we control him. So we just gotta make our way through, hammer everything in sight, and not burn my butt. Right in there was the first crystal shard of the stage, hidden in the column, so you just gotta make sure that you break the top of it, otherwise you can miss it. But of course, if you have a habit of wanting to break everything, just so it's cleared out, that won't be a problem. But oh, I love it when Kirby tells him to stop, and he's like, okay. He just throws him into the next room. It's so good. Whoa! Oh, that worked. Okay, that did not destroy him, but we'll just keep making our way through. Give me a sandwich. Bubbles. Whoa! Oh. Yeah, those guys will get the drop on you. Honestly, it's just something I've been thinking about is the fact that lately I've been like making some small mistakes with like missing some crystal shards because I get so caught up in the moment and avoid these Bronto birds. But oh, last time I was fine. But no, it's just I know I'm gonna make mistakes, and I knew this wasn't gonna be perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect. But of course, I don't want this to turn into some like big serious playthrough of Kirby 64 Let's Play where everything just has to be perfect. It's like, man, I hate it when I make these little mistakes and then I have to go back. And I just like it when things kind of flow like smoothly. But hey, things happen, but I'm having fun regardless, and in the end that's what matters, is that we're all having fun. So as we go in here, you can see this little mound. There is no indication that this is necessarily something you could break. It obviously, the thought to me is like, okay, maybe you can break this, but maybe others wouldn't see that. But there is no indication on what you need in order to break it. But you have to use ice. And I remember for the longest time I could never figure out how to find the second crystal shard in this stage, because I never knew you could break that, let alone would need the ice ability. But got the dancing cha-chas and bobos. So we'll just keep making our way through. And oh, I honestly, I know I mentioned before, I love how just kind of a lot of the design in this with its, like the way the camera moves with the landscapes, but this one in particular really can show it off. Like you start off in the background, then like you sort of kind of make your way to the foreground. Whoa, okay. And then now it just levels out. But anyways, we got a big fireball chasing us. Because you know that's what happens in volcanoes. But now we just gotta try and stay ahead of that. It's not instant kill, but it will hurt. Oh, gosh, how many times am I going to do that? Accidentally jump below an enemy and have it completely throw off the timing on my jump because I don't expect it. Oh, this freezes. Sandmen inside of a volcano. That to me just seems a little odd. They should not be sandmen. They should be like little magmen or lava men, whatever you want to call them. Yep, and here we go. As we continue, now the lava is rising. So now Kirby, make like Samus around and escape the planet. It's gonna blow. Kirby, what have you done? Oh, now we just gotta work our way up. If I remember this. For some reason I felt like I always had a hard time platforming with this. Okay, that's weird. I don't know why I didn't grab right there, but whatever. There we go. Keep making our way up. End of the stage is right up here. I'm gonna wait for them. Oh, there we go. See if I can get that info card in the back. Oh, nope, I'm getting the one up though. I mean, I guess I'll take it. I mean, I got plenty of lives. I'm not concerned. And now, with all the crystal shards and stages completed, time to go fight the boss of Neostar. This is Magman. Basically a reskinned Sandman inside this volcano. So, kind of boss fight similar to Wispy Woods. He stays off in the background, and then he fires off parts of him, like extensions, like these little tendrils, and oh, these tendrils and lava geysers. And then, so you just got to attack those as you see them on our plane of field. Oh, and of course we're playing hot lava literally by jumping on these platforms and having to avoid the ceiling as well. Because yes, that is part of it. That is, as you can see, looks really hot. I almost said there's lava. I'm like, no, not necessarily. It's just really hot because there's an active volcano. But after that, phase 1 down, but as we can see, Magman is not done yet. I remember this boss gave me a lot of trouble as a kid, mainly because I couldn't quite figure out how to damage him. Plus, I had a hard time with the platforming. I think it's mainly because I kept getting hit by the enemies. But now here, phase 2. Oh. Magman is capable of slamming his head against the ceiling, then causing rocks to fall. Of course, you can just inhale those and spit them back. And he also will breathe fire at you. And there's one other attack you can do. I don't know if he'll get around to it. But he can basically form down into the puddle. And then he can move across the floor onto the other side. And of course, if you touch him, you'll take damage. But he's almost done. And get those. This ought to do it. There we go. Magman is done. And with that, our final crystal shard of Neostar. Bye, Kirby. And now we all gather around the crystal shard once again. See what our next destination is. A rumbling. I knew it, Kirby. You really did destroy the planet. Everybody run. This is intense. Run, Waddle Dee! Congratulations, team. The planet is doomed. Not really, it's still there, but... Anyways, upon clearing upon clearing Neostar, the Crystal Shard is now taking us here to level 5, Shiver Star. So we'll dive into this next time. See you all then.